Today's topic is 1,3-dithiene, and I'm considering this as a part 1 because in the part 2 I'll be dealing with certain applications. In 1,3-dithiones you have to study introduction, preparation and certain applications. So in the introduction, what do you mean by 1,3-dithiene? Okay, 1,3-dithiene is nothing but it is the protecting group of the carbonyl compounds. So this in this 1,3-dithiene, if you will see here, there are sulfur atoms which is attached over here. So this sulfur atom of the thiol is far better nucleophile. This will act as a better nucleophile than the oxygen atom from the alcohol group. And how this can be prepared is, we are taking either an aldehyde or a ketone. Is when an aldehyde or ketone is treated with 1,3-propane dithiol upon acid catalyst, upon acidification 1,3-dithiene is obtained. So here normally the carbonyl atom of an aldehyde, this carbonyl atom will always have the electrophilic carbon, okay, partially positive charge. It will have the partially positive charge which is electrophilic in nature, and that what happens when it is treated with butyl lithium, at that time that will go and it will change it to the positive charge. That electrophilic in nature of that carbon atom, when it is treated with the butyl lithium, it will make it as the nucleophilic in nature. So that reversal of that polarity is known as the ampalong. That means the polarity reversal of the polarity. So here if you will see, for example, if you will take the 1,3-dithiene and then if you will read it with the butyl lithium or THF at minus 20 degrees Celsius, at that time what happens, this 1,3-dithiene, this is the structure, okay, and then this hydrogen atom, when it removes out, that is the deprotonation of this hydrogen atom, leads to the carbanion. That is the butyl atom which is present over here, that will abstract the proton and then it will generate the carbanion. That minus charge, it will again take the lithium atom, so resulting in the 2-lithium 1,3-dithiene. Okay, the overall reaction of the formation of anion, that is your Amplong reaction. How we can write it as, like, first you have to take an aldehyde or the ketone molecule. Here I am showing this carbonyl carbon, okay, which is electrophilic in nature, that will act as an electrophile. When it is treated with the in presence of 1,3-propane dithiol, when it is treated with that in the presence of the BF3 upon BuLi, that is your butyl lithium, in the presence of that, what happens, you are generating one of the ampalong over here, that is from the electrophilic carbon atom, it is changing into the nucleophile. Okay, once if you will read it over here, I have shown you that butyl will take the hydrogen atom, it will go it as butyl hydride, generating it as the negative charge, and lithium atom will go and sit over there. Okay, so that reversal of that charge is known as your ampalong, and this will act as a nucleophilic in nature. Now if you'll move on to here, 1,3 lithiated 1,3-dithiene, and if you will treat this with the RX, that is your alkyl halide, right, one of this first it will generate the negative charge and then lithium will abstract the halide group and the alkyl group gets substituted over here, generating this structure with the cleavage of lithium halide, and then once you will treat it with the mercuric chloride upon hydrolysis, what happens here is, this will act as a protecting group, right? So whenever you will treat it with the metal such as mercuric chloride or cadmium carbonate, so this gets deprotected. This is only the deprotection of your carbonyl compounds, okay, resulting you in the ketone. Moving on to applications, so here are certain applications. So in this synthetic application, so reaction with the halides and sulfonates are there. I will show you for the halides. So here if you will take an aldehyde, when an aldehyde is treated it with 1,3-propane dithiol, upon addition of the BF3, at that time what happens, will result in this structure. Okay, that is you're protecting this group, carbonyl group gets protected. Once you will protect the carbonyl group, and then upon addition of the butyl lithium or THF, this butyl group will go abstract the proton, generate the carbon ion, and because of this vacant orbital, the lithium ion just go and sits over here. Okay, and then this will undergo SN to alkylation reaction. So upon addition of RCH2X, that is your alkyl halides, when this goes and added up, this minus charge again goes and attacks the CH2R group with the cleavage of your X group, that is LIX gets cleaved out, resulting you in this structure. Once you will get this structure, upon addition of your mercuric chloride or water or ethanol or CH3CN, okay, upon addition of that, this diethane gets deprotected. Okay, and it gets deprotected, resulting you in your carbonyl compound. And then if you will take, for example, there you are talking about an aldehyde. For example, if that R group is replaced by your H group, it will become it as an formaldehyde. Here there are two possibilities. The formaldehyde can result you in an aldehyde and the ketone. The aldehyde can also result in the ketone in presence of 1,3-diethane. Okay, so here if you will take a formaldehyde, and then again if you will treat it with the same reagent, okay, in presence of 1,3-propane dithiol or BF3, butyl lithium or THF, upon the alkyl halides, if you will treat it with that, again what happens, this gets protected first. Once it gets protected, and then this, you know that first it will generate the carbon ion, and then upon addition you have to get back this one, like first carbon ion will go and attack to the alkyl group with the cleavage of your HBr or LIBr. Okay, so and after that you will result in this structure. And then once you will add with the after getting this structure, you have to treat it with the mercuric chloride. Upon the addition of the CH3OH, alcohol or hydrolysis, you will get back your aldehyde, that is this group gets deprotected by the formation of your carbonyl compounds. Okay, and then if you are taking the same formaldehyde and then resulting you in first this structure, and then again if you will treat it with this, okay, that time what happens, if you are treating it with one more molecule of alkyl bromide, and upon addition of this mercuric chloride CH3OH, same condition, butyl lithium or THF, that time you result in the ketone molecule. Here what happens, again there is the attack of this molecule, that is RCH2Br, and then first it will generate the carbon ion, then this subtracts the proton from here, and then lithium bromide gets cleaved out upon addition of the R-CH2, and then once it gets added up, again upon addition with this mercuric chloride or water or methanol, all upon that it gets deprotonated and then deprotected, and after that it will result in the ketone molecule. And then if we will move on to the next point, this can also takes place, 1,3-diethane can also react for the cycloalkylation products. Okay, so here you have to how it will react is from the reactions with the bifunctional electrophile. Bifunctional electrophile means it has to have two functional electrophiles, like such as amide groups or else alcohol groups. That bifunctional electrophiles should be there for the preparation of your macrocycles. So first you have to take the anion of 1,3-diethane. Okay, anion of 1,3-diethane if you will take, and then if you will treat it with the dibromo substituent. Okay, dibromo alkyl substituents, if you treat it with that, at that time what happens, this minus charge again goes and attack to your alkyl carbon atom by the cleavage of your bromide molecule. one of the bromide gets cleaved out, resulting in you in this adduct. Once you will get back this adduct, at that time again if you will treat it with the butyl lithium, this butyl group will abstract the proton and then it will generate the negative charge. Again what happens, this negative charge will go and attack to the alkyl group by the cleavage of your bromide group. That again in the next step, this lithium atom and the bromine will go as the LiBr, okay, resulting you in this cyclic compound. Once you will get back this cyclic compound, now you have to deprotect it, okay. First this protection is going to happen, and then if you will add the mercury chloride, any of the metal like mercury chloride or cadmium carbonate, etc., upon hydrolysis and upon addition of an alcohol, all this gets deprotected by giving you as the carbonyl compound as your macrocycle. Then moving on to next application, that is reaction with the epoxides. So here what happens, you are taking an epoxide and you are showing the reaction how it will take place, okay. So again you are taking the 1,3-dithiene and then first you have to add with the, when you will treat 1,3-dithiene with the butyl lithium, at that time you will generate the anion of 1,3-dithiene, okay. Once you will generate this anion of 1,3-dithiene, and you have to add, upon addition you have to add the epoxides. So upon addition of the epoxide, this negative charge of your 1,3-dithiene and anion of your 1,3-dithiene, this anion will go and attack to your epoxide, okay, methylene group of your epoxide, and again this will get ring opening reaction will take place. This bond will shift, make a charge as O minus, okay. Once this will become as O minus, at that time what happens, this lithium molecule which is having a positive charge will go and bind towards here, okay, resulting you in this structure. And after that, upon addition of mercury or water, upon acidification what happens, first upon acidification this O minus will abstract the proton, resulting you in OH, okay, and then this gets deprotected because you are adding the metal such as mercury. If you will add, you will get back your R C double bond O CH2 CH OH R dash, that is your beta hydroxy aldehydes or ketones you will get, okay. So here in case of here you are getting beta hydroxy ketones. So here if how you have to tell it is a beta hydroxy, so first you have to see wherever there is a functional group attached. After that you are telling it is an alpha beta, okay. So here you will consider it as an alpha and then beta. This is your beta hydroxy ketones, okay. Then moving on to next point. So again you are taking the anion of your 1,3-dithiene, and then if you will treat it with the different moiety, like in place of your R dash you are substituting it with CHOET twice. Once if you will substitute with this again the minus charge carbanion will go attack to your methylene group of your epoxide, and then there is a ring opening reaction resulting you in this structure. And upon addition of your HgO, that is mercuric oxide or BF3 in presence of the base, what happens here is this again gets hydrogen gets added up over here and then resulting you in this aldehyde. This is your beta hydroxy aldehydes, okay. And again here you can see this will make it as your unsaturated compounds. So what happens if you will remove one molecule of your water, dehydration, if it will takes place over here, so one of your H group CH2 can also be written as CH and then H, right. This one bond from the CH will go shift over here with the cleavage of your OH moiety, that is your H plus and OH minus, it will go it as the water molecule resulting you in this structure. Then moving on to the third application, that is reaction with the carbonyl compounds. So here you have to take an anion of your 1,3-diethane and then you have to treat it with either with an aldehyde or the ketone. So if you will treat it with an aldehyde, this minus charge, the carbon ion, will go and attack to the carbonyl carbon, which is electrophilic in nature. Once it will go and attack, and then this bond shifts, make it as a negative charge, and it is resulting in the tetrahedral structure. Okay, this will result in the tetrahedral structure, remember. And after that, if you will add the HgCl2 upon the hydrolysis in the presence of the methane cyanide, and upon acidification, what happens here is, first this will take the proton, abstract the proton, O minus will abstract the proton on, and then you will get your OH, and then this gets deprotected, okay, because here you are adding the HgCl2. This gets deprotected, so you will result in alpha hydroxycarbonyl compound. I have said you how to number it as an alpha beta after the functional group like carbonyl carbon, and that time this carbon will become it as an alpha. So in the alpha position, hydroxy group is attached, so it is an alpha hydroxycarbonyl compound. Moving on to next thing, if you will take then alpha beta unsaturated ketones. If you will take an alpha beta unsaturated ketones like here, like cyclohexanone, if you will take, and then if you will treat it with the anion of your 1,3-diethane, okay, there are two possibilities. One is the formation of your 1,2 adduct, and one more, it is the 1,4 adduct. I have said you earlier, it is like thermodynamically or kinetically control product. So if you will see here, this carbon ion goes and attacks to the carbonyl carbon, okay, it is an 1,2 adduct. So here if you will number it as 1 and then 1, 2, okay, this goes and attacks to the second position of your carbonyl carbon, okay, that is your alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Once it will go and attack to the carbonyl carbon of your ketone group, this bond shifts, make it as a negative charge, O minus, and then after that, after making it as a negative charge, it will abstract the proton upon protonation, okay, upon protonation it will result in OH, and then you will get back your adduct, this 1,2 adduct formation. If you will add HgCl2, it gets deprotected and you will result in your CO group, okay. And then again if you will take the same molecule, that is your cyclohexanone, on again if you will treat it with the one anion of your 1,3-diethane upon HMPA, addition of your HMPA, what happens here is, this carbon ion goes and attacks to the fourth position. It is an 1,4 addition, 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So this goes and attacks to the fourth position of your carbon atom. When it goes and attacks, this bond shifts, moves towards here, and then the carbonyl atom which is having the double bond, this bond will shift, it will make it as the O minus. Upon addition of this at minus 78 degrees Celsius, what happens here is, this oxygen atom will abstract the proton, and then you will result in this 1,4 adduct formation. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box.